Well, thank you. My name is Lohdia Surya Adnyani. I'm one of the presenters, and inspired by the theme of this conference, my topic is equitable education for bilingual autism spectrum disorder children. Well, equitable educations. To understand better the equitable educations, it is important to know about equality and equity. The popular uh, representations of equality is equality shows similar, just like in this first picture, the children are given similar size boxes, and the input is the shortest students struggle to write down on the chalkboard. And for the second picture, it represents equity because they are given different size boxes so that all students can write down comfortably. Well, based on UNESCO's Global Education Monitoring Report, those pictures actually shows equality. This first picture shows equality of input, and the second picture shows equality of output. Well, the state or affair of similarity in the input and output is called equality, while equity is the process, the action to make sure the equality happen. Well, equitable education for ASD. ASD is autism spectrum disorder. It is one of the manifestations of general commitment of United Nations to propose education 2030 to answer inclusive and equitable quality educations and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. For all here means for students, for the regular students, for the students with disabilities, and for the students with special education needs, just like ASD. Well, what is it? Autism spectrum disorder? Those children have communication difficulties. It is really hard for them to initiate conversations, to answer the questions. They mostly repeat the questions, or they just repeat sentence that they still remember when answering the questions. They also have difficulties dealing with social interactions. They are very sensitive for changes, like the from the first room to another room, or the first activity to other activity. They also have difficulties in sensitivity, sensitivity, sensitivity to stimulations. It's like too bright or too loud noise. Well, they have motor difficulties. It's like clapping hands, type 2, or atypical body posture. Those students have right to be inclusive, to be in inclusive education classroom. They have right to learn together with other students. And of course, they need shadow teacher. Yeah, and the teacher need to focus on their abilities, not disabilities, because autism is not a disability, it's a different ability. And quote for teacher, every teacher can learn the way we teach. Maybe we should teach the way they learn. The teacher need to know more about ASD students in this case. Yeah, if they meet one ASD student, it means that they only meet one. So they need to connect the individual learning styles on the need of all pupils equally, and valuing other cultures' perspective, celebrating individuality, and also respect and empathy uh, to avoid bullying. Well, for English teaching, teaching English for regular students is a challenge here because English in Indonesia is not used in daily conversations. And now teachers need to promote equitable education for bilingual ASD students. Teacher can give similar input or similar output with different input. This process is called differentiated instructions. Differentiations mean tailoring instruction to meet individual needs. to make the students improve the learning outcome, to make them engage with the learning. They love the learning process. They have self-awareness. They think that they can do that, and the learning is efficient. Besides, there are several things that the English teacher need to know. They need to consider the demand of the students' cognitive abilities, socio-emotional needs, and social support systems. They have self-efficacy, technique, knowledge, attitude, confidence. They need to understand how the children process words to make the best decision, helping them develop their language. They need to expose the English sound, precise sentences, and other linguistic inputs. Of course, they need to prepare IEP, individual education plan, and use interventions. These pictures are low-tech AAC interventions, and this one of the examples of high-tech. So the teacher need to consider many things for the English teachers before and to prepare them to promote equitable educations for bilingual ASD students. Thank you. That's all my presentation.